Hey folks, this is Vent with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly review Dungeons of Edera. This is a game that you can find on Steam's Early Access program for about 15 bucks. So I stress early access, that means everything that you're about to see here, including this review, is subject to change. So this is a roguelite action RPG dungeon crawler, and it's not bad. I will say this, it is not bad. I do have some issues with the game, primarily with the way it controls and behaves in combat. And that is a big thing. I mean, when it comes to dungeon crawlers and roguelikes, you have to go, well, is the gameplay good? That's the biggest trouble I have with this one. Combat doesn't seem to be all that fluid with me. For example, I'll be swinging my sword, and sometimes I connect, sometimes I don't. If I'm on a hill or whatever and I'm just not facing the enemy just right, my swing will bypass them even though it looks like I hit him, but I actually didn't. So there's like hitbox issues and things that, drive me up the wall. Then there's some hilarity moments where I might be swinging my sword and I connect and I kill them, and then they go flying off into the distance like ragdolling. Or I might use a bow and arrow and shoot them that way, and then upon death they fly forward somehow, their last step was to step on some kind of spring-loaded trap that flung them toward me. It was funny. Anyway, so the gameplay is a bit wonky. Aside from that, aside from the wonky gameplay and, the not-so-tight combat, it's actually not too bad. I don't think it's Stockholm Syndrome talking. I'm actually enjoying the whole leveling up idea of it. So it starts the game like this. You're a nobody, and you get to choose between different quests before you embark on your next run. I was able to talk to this one guy who's like, you're a lumberjack now. So I'm like, okay, fine. I guess I'll accept this quest, or I can go over to the little message board or whatever, and then pick one of them. And you get to choose between easy, normal, and hard difficulty. And on the easier setting, you get less XP and less of a reward item, like a lesser rarity. Like there's rarity items in this game. Think like Borderlands or World of Warcraft, where you've got rarities. You've got your white normal, and then you've got your green or blue. Blue in this game is uncommon. Then you've got purple rares and orange legendary, I think. Anyway, but typical. And anyway, so you pick a quest, then you pick a difficulty, and then you go in. Now, difficulty also comes into play upon death. Whenever you die in this game, on normal, I believe, or above, I haven't tried it, but whenever you die, you lose all of your items in that run aside from soulbound items. Soulbound items are like tied to your character. Now, from my understanding, you can soulbind items later on. So if you complete a run and you like a weapon that you've got, but it's not soulbound to you, supposedly you can maybe enchant it later and make it soulbound. I'm not 100% sure on that because I haven't gotten that far. This is a grind of a game that's going to take some time to play, and I don't have that right now. But anyway, so you go into a run, you get weapons, there's tons of loot. So on a regular basis, you're going to be opening up your inventory going, is that an upgrade? Is that an upgrade? And if you hover over an item, it'll give you a comparison. Okay, green numbers mean it's an improvement. Red numbers is not an improvement. I like that aspect of it. So you've got typical RPG slots like head, you've got chest, you've got bracers, I think, and you've got a melee weapon, ranged weapon. So you'll be upgrading these as you go. There's also a chest in town. And you can actually share that chest between multiple characters. So not only do you have the one character that you created, but you can create a second character and then share items between them via that chest in town. That's kind of cool. I like that too. So there's a lot of friendly things going on here in terms of sharing loot and the like. If you play on easy difficulty, however, and you die, you just keep everything. So if you're not a fan of, like, it's not permadeath. There is a permadeath mode. I'm not. But if you don't like the whole permadeath, you lose stuff when you die thing, play on easy. You won't lose anything whenever you die on a mission, whatever. At the end of every run, there's a boss. Now you can opt not to do that. Let's say that you're tasked with collecting 10 pieces of wood or 15 pieces of fishing equipment. And you do it. Let's say that you're halfway through the level and you've picked everything up. You can hit N to portal home, or you can keep going to the boss. And if you beat the boss, there's this altar that you can interact with, and you get a permanent boon for your character. These boons might be like, as you would expect from like a roguelike, where you pick something and it's a permanent buff from here on out. Oh, increases health regeneration, or causes knockback damage, or return damage, or increases maximum health, or something. Some kind of permanent buff that will benefit your character. So that's kind of cool. So there's also a talent tree in this game. It's fairly extensive. You've got your basic one, which is like just your regular character. You can unlock things like alchemy, where you can unlock the ability to craft simple potions. You can unlock lock-picking. There are chests in your runs that will be locked, and you'll need the lock-picking skill for that. And then there are some basic ones like endurance, which increases your stamina, which is needed for blocking or attacking. Just straight up health increases or mana increases. I have not gotten into mana yet either, or magic. That's just one thing I haven't gotten. It's just, again, there's a grind here that you have to progressively go through. Multiple runs of the same thing, and it can get a little crazy. Aside from your main tree, there's an Arbitum tree, a Surfact tree, and a Wakara tree, which I haven't even touched yet. You'll unlock different trainers as you play, and you'll be able to like place totem, like the Surfact trainer. You'll be able to place down a totem that will allow you to heal yourself and your allies. Yes, eventually you'll be able to get allies in this game too, that will follow you along and fight with you. Melee, range, that kind of thing. So you could become like this shaman and put down totems all over the place like you could with your shaman in World of Warcraft, which is kind of nice. If there's other trainers around there, there's a cleave ability, divine vengeance, slam, fireball, supernova, firewall. So there's a magical side to this too. Then your Wakara trainer is like Akimbo Slice and Affinity Slash and Rolling Slash, different skills that you might have. So, like, aside, like, once you get past the questionable flow of combat, like, there's a lot of back-end stuff that I think will interest anyone that enjoys leveling up a character and making it their own. There's a lot of that here. It's just a shame that the combat isn't as fluid as it could be. Yes, you can lock onto enemies with the tab button. You could do that, but sometimes, even when I'm swinging my weapon, I feel like I'm missing enemies. There's also a ton of inventory management in this game. Right-click drops an item. Typically, right-click is to assign an item to your character. I keep dropping items by accident doing that. And you do have an inventory limit. So halfway through your run, you're going to be constantly dropping things. You can sell things back at your camp. So you don't want to drop everything that's useless. Just keep the expensive stuff that you want to sell for later. And then you can buy potions and other things that'll help you out. Lots of stats in this game. Again, there's a lot to like here. One thing that bothers me, however, inventory management wise, there is a filter for like weapons and ranged weapons and headpieces. Like you click on those filters and it'll only give you those items. However, it does not let you sort by rarity. So like I just want to just sell all of my basic non-rare items or whatever. I can't sort by that. I have to go through them, hover over them. Okay. Yes, there's the colors. There's a background color for the rarities too on the weapon, but with my old eyes, it's hard to see sometimes. So, like, I wish I could sort by rarity too in my inventory screen, and I can't seem to do that. So that's a pain. Also, the game boasts randomly generated environments. That's partially true. Like, I did a run, I was in the forest, and then my second run, I was in this open cave system. Then in the third run, I was back in the forest again, facing the same enemies I was facing in my first run. Yeah, it was a little different in terms of how everything looked, but it was like still like, I felt like, oh, I've been around this bend before. I remember this section because it's like the game has these blocks of map stored somewhere, and then they spit them out randomly. So you'll come to recognize these blocks of areas that you'll come across in the maps that you play and go, oh, I remember this section. It's a little different, like there's a shrub over there, but it's somewhat the same, you know, and the enemies that you face, same thing. So do I recommend this? Yeah, for the low price that it is, you'll get a lot of playtime out of this, assuming you can get past the combat and how it flows and how it behaves. If you can get past that, if you can get past the not so tight combat, then I think you'll enjoy this. There's a lot to be said here for the character building, and that's what I play these games for anyway. Yeah, I play it for cool gameplay, action, combat too, but primarily in any RPG, I care about making my character as bad you know what as possible. And that's what this game is allowing me to do, and I'm liking it. So do I recommend it? Yes, but just with that whole caveat, if combat is your sole reason to pick up a game like this, then you may be a little put off-ish by how some of it behaves. But yeah, overall, still, in its current state, I do recommend it. If you guys haven't already, subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.